The Nvidia RTX 5070 Ti is one of the best graphics cards in today's market. If you want to build the cheapest PC around this graphics card without hurting its performance and most importantly achieving high FPS and no stutters, then you came to the right place. I'll show you the cheapest RTX 5070 Ti PC build to play any game that you want at any resolution, whether it's 1080p, 1440p or 4K high to ultra settings in any kind of game. You will find the link to this exact PC down below in the video description with the latest pricing and availability in your region. My name is Valentino. That being said, let's start. So in order to make this the cheapest build with the 5070 Ti, we need a CPU that's not going to bottleneck this graphics card, and that's why I went with a Ryzen 5 9600X. This CPU is amazing for gaming and it's going to be a really good match with the 5070 Ti. And in CPU demanding games, the 9600X is very capable of achieving over 240 plus FPS on average, competitive settings at 1440p resolution, even 360 plus FPS in easy to run esports like Valorant, for example. So this system will be amazing for both high demanding titles and also high CPU demanding games. Now for this CPU, I went with an aftermarket CPU cooler with RGB that's going to be cheap and perfectly fine to cool down this Ryzen 5 9600X. And for the motherboard, I went with one of the best value motherboards out there with Wi-Fi included, alongside 32 gigs of DDR5 memory. So it's going to be perfectly fine for streaming and content creation as well, in case you are a content creator. And on top of that, you get one of the prettiest cases, in my opinion, in the Montec Air 100 RGB with pre-installed RGB fans, great airflow and a very decent price. Now, in terms of high demanding titles, if you want to play games like Cyberpunk 2077, The Last of Us Part 1 and games of that nature, you will be able to achieve well over 130 FPS when it comes to 1440p high to ultra settings. So very strong performance for 1440p. And of course, as you know, the 5070 Ti is top tier for this resolution, even if you turn on features like ray tracing, so you can easily play with ray tracing enabled at 1440p or 1080p resolution if you have a 1080p monitor. Now, if you want to play at 4K, the 5070 Ti is also very capable for high demanding titles, and you can expect over 80 FPS on average in these type of games, high to ultra settings. But I do recommend you turning on the DLSS if you will be playing the most high demanding games out there at 4K for you to achieve a smoother level of gaming performance. Now, the total price for this PC by the time of filming is $1,500 USD, and I do think that this is the cheapest that I would buy for the 5070 Ti. As I said before, it's not about putting the cheapest components available, because if you do that, you are most likely going to bottleneck the 5070 Ti and you are not going to be able to fully utilize the power of this graphics card, especially in high demanding games. So $1,500 USD is a very fair price for a 5070 Ti build. And by the way, as of right now, the RTX 5070 Ti by the time of filming goes for around $850, which is around $100 USD over its MSRP. But I've seen this graphics card go for around $800 USD lately. So maybe when you're watching this, the price is cheaper. And in that case, you can expect this PC to be around $1,450 or $1,400 USD. And then if you have more money to spend and you want a faster build overall, I do recommend you upgrading a couple of components, which I will be mentioning right now. For the CPU, I recommend you going from this Ryzen 5 9600X to the Ryzen 7 9700X. In terms of gaming performance, it's going to be around the same, so you are not going to achieve higher FPS when it comes to gaming, but this CPU has 8 cores. So if you're a content creator or you want to do some type of productivity work that requires more than 6 cores from your CPU, having this Ryzen 7 CPU will be ideal for you, especially once again if you're a content creator. If you just want to do gaming, trust me, there's not going to be a huge difference, so you might as well save your money and go with the Ryzen 5 CPU. Then I upgraded the motherboard to a Gigabyte BA50 gaming Wi-Fi. This motherboard has more features than the one from the cheaper build, so overall it's more premium. Then I went with 2 TB of SSD instead of 1 TB, so you have more storage to install more games or more programs or transfer more files. And then I went with a more premium quality case in the Lian Li Langcool 207. This is one of the best cases out there for the price, so I do recommend you getting this one instead. Now, after this upgrade, the total price will be around $1,720 for this build, so it's quite more expensive. But if you have more money to spend, I do recommend you picking these components instead. And don't worry if you got lost, because as I said before, you will have everything mentioned down in the video description. So if you want to check the latest prices and availability for both PC builds, the cheapest build and the upgraded one, you will find those down below. And if you have even more money to spend or you have less than 1500 USD, I do recommend you checking my video on the best PC builds of the month, where I go over every budget and every resolution. You will find that video in the top right corner of the screen. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.